a clipping mask. And to do this, we're going to play around with having a fruit that's inside an everyday object. So you can go into Photoshop, hit Create New for your newer version of Photoshop. It's probably at the top. And default Photoshop size is fine. Okay, and we're going to start with the horizontal canvas. So hit Create. You'll have this blank canvas here. I am going to quickly add an example so that you guys cannot take a screenshot of it. Okay. And then we will get started. Okay, so you have three options here. You have the orange inside the mug, which makes kind of an orange mug, the teapot with the mint tea, and then the Sprite lemon. So I've made the other two videos separate. So today we're going to do, on this video, the orange mint tea. So if you want to do one of the others, just choose one of the others instead. Okay, so to do this, I've saved some pictures in Google Classroom that you can use. I've saved the mint. I used a lemon, a teapot, the kitchen in the background, and the wood. So we're going to put all those pieces together to create this. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is bring over my teapot. Okay, and it is a red teapot JPEG. And so you can just drag it onto this page. And you see how it has the white already in the background, which we do not want. So I'm going to click my Move tool, click on that layer, convert to layers, yes, quick actions twice, and remove background. Okay, so y'all should already know how to do that. That is how you, if something has a very plain background, it's an easy way to remove that object if it's the only object in the file. So I have my teapot here. Now I am going to go ahead, let me move this in the back for a sec, and add the lemon. So I was going to just do orange with the white, but I was playing around with this. Originally I was going to do lemon mint tea, and it turned orange, so that is fine for what we're doing. But just know that the colors will combine to make it orange. So I'm going to, oh, that's a web page. I don't want that. Okay, so I saved it as a JPEG over here. So I'm going to drag my lemon over, a very large lemon. It also has this white background on it, so I'm going to want to get rid of that. So click on my lemon layer, convert to layers, yes, quick action twice, remove background. Okay, so now I have a lemon without a background. So I want my lemon to be larger than my teapot because it is going to create a mask of the lemon within the teapot. So kind of maneuver it so that it's bigger than the teapot. You'll move the lemon to the top, and then holding Alt, go between those two layers. So you want them to be right on top of each other. And you see how that little box with the arrow appears? That's what you want. So you're going to click it, and it's going to say, I want this lemon to be inside of that object. So now you have a teapot lemon here. I am going to, oh, maybe I should have done this before. On my lemon layer, I'm going to make the opaquency like 50. Ooh, perfect. And the reason I'm doing this, actually I'm going to make it 89, 90. Okay, the reason I'm doing it this way is I want it kind of see-through because I wanted some of the shadows from the teapot. Notice when it's 100% how flat it looked. So if I bring it down to like 90, I can really see some of those shadows and highlights that exist in the teapot, which will make it look more teapot-ish. Now, if I want to exaggerate those shadows, I can come in here with the paintbrush. Oops, not that one, this one. The brush tool, and I can draw on top of it. So I'm going to click on the lemon here. I probably want my brush to be a little bit bigger. And I'm going to have it a dark color, so make sure it's black or something. And normally your brush is going to do this, which is not what you want. So you can go in and change the opaquency so your brush is slightly see-through too, and then it's just creating a shadow. So I'm going to do it like 15%. Again, it's your choice how much you do it. So if you hold your mouse while you're drawing, it's going to keep it fairly even. If you go over it again and click again, it's going to add an even darker shadow in there. So just be aware as you're playing with this that the more layers you add, the darker it's kind of going to look. And if it ends up looking too dark for you or you don't like something, you can always do the history here and go back a little bit until it's something you like. B, if it's too dark, you can change the opaquency down a bit. Okay, so I may just want a slight shadow here on the bottom, not something quite so dark. Okay, but generally create a little bit of shadow wherever you want some more shadows to accentuate the fact that this is a teapot. Okay, now I'm going to close my history. I have my orange teapot and I need to add the background. So I'm going to go in, I saved an image of a kitchen earlier. I'm going to drag this kitchen where it fills the frame. And I would like my kitchen to look a little blurry. That way it looks like it's in the distance. So right click, and you have to be on Command T to do this. So if it is without the blue lines, it's not gonna work. So what you wanna do is hit Command T, and then right click and, oops, not right click. This is not, there you have some options in right click. This one is not one of them. So this one, click back to your move tool, go up to filter, and then you are going to go into blur gallery and actually just blur. I'm going to choose Gaussian blur, I think is how you say it. And then this way you can play with the number and how blurry it is. So I find if you stick around 10, it looks blurry enough to tell what it is, but still be blurry. So I'm going to hit OK, and then I have a blurry kitchen that I can move to the bottom. Okay. So now I have my kitchen, I have my teapot, but my teapot is floating, so let's drag the table in. So one of the other things that I downloaded for you guys was just a thing that is a piece of wood. So bring the wood over, you want it to be as wide as the kitchen. And then if I try to make it shorter, normally it goes like this. But if I hold the shift key while I do that, it's going to squish it down. Okay, so I want my wood to be about here so it looks like a table. And I can move it below my teapot. But you see how it still looks really flat and a little awkward. So what we're going to do is, remember I told you if you Command T and right click you get more options. One of them is perspective. So if you've been in art class, perspective drawing is the concept that something gets smaller the farther away it is. So grab the corners here and stretch out. And then it will look like it is correctly perspective. Okay. And go back to your move tool to say, yes, this is set. This is what I want. And we are almost done. I'm going to add the piece of mint into the front. Again, I'm going to click on that layer, convert to layers. Yes. It's converting the white and the green to separate layers is what it's doing. And then quick action, remove background. I will bring that to the front. Command T, make it a little smaller. And it kind of looks like my teapot's floating still a little bit. So if I come into the brush tool, one of the options here is to make this not a circle. So you see how it's a circle now? I can squish it down and make it more of an oval. So if I make it oval, I make it pretty large, it's going to look like it goes a shadow under the teapot, okay? So on my, I'm going to make sure I'm doing the shadow on the wood here, or you can create a new layer for this by pressing the plus sign here. Okay, so I'm going to come down to the wood, I'm going to hit OK. And it's still probably that darker transparent. So what I can do is make it a little bit better here to like 11%. And again, every time you click, it's going to make it slightly darker. And I'm going to create my shadow, go out a little bit. I'm also going to create some shadow under this mint here. Okay. So now it looks like things are not floating, which is good. If you want it to look like the mint is even more in front, I'm going to come down to here. Oops, too small. Yeah. And then I'm going to go to my teapot or my lemon and create a little shadow behind the mint also. That way it looks like it's really real in front of it. Okay, so now I think it looks pretty realistic. If you want to add any more shadows, you're welcome to. But go back to your move tool to say, you know, keep everything where it is. Say you're done. This time you're going to go to File, and first time I would do Save As, the second time save a copy. So the first time save to the cloud, so it saves it in Photoshop if you need to get back to it. The second time save on your computer. And if you choose Save a Copy, it'll give you lots of options of how you can save it. So you can choose JPEG, you can choose Photoshop PDF, and PNG. All of those are things that will be accepted in Google Classroom. The other files will not show up. So JPEG, Photoshop PDF, or PNG. And make sure it is in a location where you can find it.